We are starting the stream before we even start the music. What do we got today? Jess Paul's YouTube royalty. Yeah, sounds about right. Everybody out there in internet land, hear me okay? I am Jess. I had chips for dinner, Paul. Welcome to my live stream. I sometimes wear fake food in my hair, and I pretty much always am doing some kind of art project. We've got our liquid snacks. Even after our actual snacks for dinner. And we're going to do something, we're going to do something along, you guys are basically seeing every single part in this process that I have figured out little by little, which I hope you're interested because it's, it's certainly interesting to me. And maybe some other things. I was jumping between what to do exactly on this stream because there's so many little things that I want to do around my house just to make it that much more comfortable. It's like I cannot buy a flower pot without customizing it somehow. I just want to put my hand in everything. So today I've got a couple things to show you. I did a haul, which I just left on my bed. I did a little ThredUp haul. ThredUp being not a sponsor because no one's paying me, but also basically it's like an online thrift store. So I'm always very excited to get some stuff I need. It's the first place I go. This time I was searching specifically for, I think you can see me back there. I've been on the hunt for something very specific. I have been just aching for some button fly jeans. So some jeans that that have buttons for a fly, because I just think it's that much more elevated. Says the girl who bought all of her new jeans secondhand. Whoops. Never claimed to be an NBA star. So anyways, so now I have more button fly shorts than I could ever hope to do with. I don't even know. And those are the ones I'm keeping. There are some I didn't even go for. But also besides that, I've also been looking for dresses, as if I don't have enough, and if I don't have enough floral. But I specifically was looking for dresses that I can sleep in. I don't know if it's like I've gotten to that phase in my life where like I want to be cute and comfortable, and these like cotton blend little dresses are like the perfect thing to sleep in. And then I could like throw a bra on, and I look like I'm going out to do something really cool. Like I know I'm letting you into all the industry secrets here, but that's where I am right now. I'm very excited about it. I have to say I love shopping secondhand because and maybe it sounds like I'm making some kind of excuse. I mean, I'm literally saving the planet because there are enough clothes in actual circulation that you never literally need to make new clothes again, which is a huge aspect of ThredUp that I like in any really thrift store. We don't have to name drop here. But one thing, I just think that this is so interesting. So last week, I was talking to you guys about my journey through my romance life and discovering what more is out there. And I mentioned this book, The Ethical Slut. Now, I had told you correctly that I listened to an audiobook, but I decided, because I love the audiobook so much, that I'd get a physical copy to mark up, to underline, to like reference back and forth. And I specifically got this. This is, I want to say, the most recent edition. I hope so. I got this, and this is so interesting. It's interesting to me. I got the very first edition that they printed, which was released in the 90s, and Slut Skills, Chapter 6, Slut Skills. Yeah, so I thought that it would be there. This was published in the 90s. I want to say 97. Yep, 97. And since then, it has been through a lot of iterations. They've added to it the two authors, Dossie and Catherine. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. Janet Hardy. And she wrote under a pen name back in the day because she was really afraid of the association with her name with writing this. So see, that's really cool. It's just historic. Speaking of historic, so like I said, I got these from a thrift bookstore. Why not? They're like, why would I buy a brand new one if there are these issues that are, I mean, it's like a library that I'm technically paying for. It's like the in-between of a library. Never mind. But what I thought that would be really cool about getting a thrifted book, specifically on this kind of thing, and I had it in the back of my mind, and it did happen. It did happen. I opened it up, and there are people's notes. Like, there's some princess. Somebody's notes from reading this book are in here. Wow. I mean, that's so intimate. It's the intimacies of a stranger. I'll show you. I don't want to open their privacy too much, but we just got some little scribbles here. I was trying to figure out what this was. And so it's obviously a map of the United States and naming a bunch of the cities. And it says like 00 Hawaii and different numbers for different cities. And I'm wondering if it has anything to do with this book. It's like the number of partners this person is collecting. I just am fascinated. I thought that was so cool. So if you ever have a book that you're interested in having, I always do recommend a thrifted book because it comes with a little extra surprise. Let's see who's in the room. We have Just Fall Alive, liquid snacks and fake food. What else do we need? Real food, fake food. You could even argue the either way for both. Those are some good jean shorts. My last pair of jean shorts just shredded, fell apart. That is the testament of like living your life, William. That's what I think. When the material is dead, you can't save it. The thing is, like, not many people go to that length where they like use out their clothes. They, especially I would say females, if I'm going to make an assumption, just like, I mean, I'm counting myself in, just cycle their clothes when they don't wear them, when they don't like something anymore. And so I try to, every chance I get, thrift it out. Azor's Retro Gambit. Cool. Oh, look at that pancake pin. Coffee Cooking Creations. Hello. How you doing? So this is really cool, actually. A little story about these pancake pins. So I did a custom order just this past week for a customer. And this one really touched my heart. So I was making a completely custom order. I'd never made pancake pins before, even though like it was right up my alley. It didn't seem like I have that shape. That's basically a cookie. That shape is a cookie. And the syrup in the little butter pad is done with my paint and my colored glue. So she wanted to order about half a dozen little pancake pins because this woman was contacting me after her grandfather had died. And so they were organizing a celebration of life for him. When she messaged me, I'm like, when is this? Like, I'm thinking I had to get it done in like 2 days because they're going to bury him. But no, it's a party. It's a celebration of life, bringing everyone together. And the dude didn't cook, but what he always was known for making was pancakes in different shapes, blah, blah, blah. And so she ordered a custom batch of little pancakes to give out to, I want to say probably the 5, I don't know, kids or most important relatives. And yeah, I thought that was so cool. I put a little extra one in there for her just, to, in case she forgot anybody. But I made like a dozen, and I figured that with the rest of them, I could sell them because I think that these would be really, really cute. Oh, I forgot I didn't come in here with my rebranded stream name. That's all right. That's cool. That's awesome. Thank you for joining us, Azor Retro Gambit. Hey, Patrick. Don't worry, man. We're just chilling here. We're enjoying our snacks. We're getting started. We're doing a little show and tell. And I do have some more things to show you before we get started. So, I mean, I could show you some of my haul. Maybe later. Maybe if we don't have any more time. Or nothing else to do. But I'm very excited and proud to say that I finally studded up the entire sides of the jacket. The entire, I guess that's the 3/4. So this is done with the studs, at least on the bodice. I am going to continue to build onto it as I go out. But right now, man, it's kind of front heavy, isn't it? So this is our amazing jacket. It's so funny because it's now just starting to feel like my old one in the sense that I put a ton of the same studs with screw backs, and I can feel like this kind of whole structure inside. I used to always kind of walk around with this. This thing's heavy. Like, this has a lot of metal on it. And of course, I still need to add so many more things, like my guitar pick cap sleeves, and probably more studs, and of course tucker on the back. Oops, just went dark there for a second. I hope you're still there. Okay, we still here? We all good? Technical difficulties almost. I think we are okay, maybe. We're good now? Okay, hopefully. We're just gonna have to do it without that light beside me because it's okay. So anyways, all right. William says, the jacket is awesome. Love all the different sections. Thank you, dude. Seeing you rocking that jacket on Instagram at an award show. The thing is, this is a different one. So this is our 2.0. Hi, Tiffany. Welcome. Come on in. We're chilling here. We're having a ball. Waiting for my monitor to come back. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. I hope we are not lost forever. Come on. Thank you for, okay, lost sound, we're muted. Okay, we're back. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Technically what happened is that my converter that plugs everything in has been glitchy. So I'm losing monitors, but hopefully I'm still here. Hopefully that's all we need. So Just let me know if you've lost me for realsies, and I'll know that that's what we got. Okay, so here, let's go on to YouTube, make sure I'm playing still. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm still going. Okay. You're not a streamer until you have tech issues. Thank you, Azure Cloud. That makes me feel so much better about it. Actually, that's an interesting thing. You know, I have really been toying with for a long time switching over to Just Fall is better than tech issues. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for all your support. I've been thinking of switching over to Twitch because I feel like it would give me a lot more freedom to do what I want with the quality. I don't know if the quality always turns out on here, despite all of my best efforts, buying a new computer, trying to get the best Wi-Fi or internet access I possibly can, but some things you just can't do. So I think we're going to try to take it easy today. We're going to, wait, what else was I going to show you? I think that's it. Showed you my little clip. Okay, we're going to get into the meat of our little stream here. Of the hairstyle. Thank you so much. It was so great because I just curled it and then put this guy in. I'm like, oh, it just goes. It just makes sense. So I've got this giant ass bag. Check it out. This is a big old bag of some of my fake food. What would you call these? I call them runs sometimes because I'm running the material through my molds. But this technically is what it looks like, pretty fresh out of the mold. Looks almost perfect shape, right? To be a pumpkin pie, except we got to trim up our edges here. So this specifically, like this little papery thin stuff right here, is actually called flashing, and it's what gets in between the mold and the lid. Pretty much every piece has it, even if you do it in something like resin. You could get flashing. And so what I do to get stuff ready for paint is I cut this stuff off, make it all nice and perfect. And it's something that is like really peaceful. I was talking to all of yesterday I spent studying that jacket. That my Sunday was literally spent, the whole thing since I woke up was spent studying that jacket. And that is, I mean, that's how much time it took. I'm really glad that I already got it done. I thought that it was going to take me several more sessions, but I was really dedicated to it. Technically, I was supposed to be doing something else. Like that wasn't even on my to-do list. And I'm like, no, I'm just gonna stud my whole jacket. That's what we're gonna do. And these guys, these little pegs here, that is where the stuff comes out of the holes. Happy Independence Day. That's another question I wanted to ask you guys. Okay, let's see here. William says, fresh out of the mold, like seeing a mannequin before it's dressed up. That's right. It's a blank canvas. Blanks is a perfect word for it. So Independence Day. Okay, wait. Patrick Adams says, totally looking for. I forget that I can put these on screen when I'm reading them. Totally looking forward to Halloween this year. Hopefully you liked my Misty sketch suggestion on Discord. We shall see. We shall see there, Patrick. So basically, this is where our foam comes out of the holes on the lid. You want to make sure you release the pressure. You can't be closing a foam mold up because it expands. And to make sure it is just filling that mold exactly, you make sure to have a garbage can, which is what I always fail to do. I just like start a project and then I'm just like, why do I not throw this stuff directly in the trash can? Because that's where it goes. And I've explained this before too. Just going everywhere. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. One thing that makes this such a, like the optimal craft for the foam that I use is that when the excess comes out of the holes, I want to make sure too, I should use this, I think, to cut these out. These have to be lower even than the surface because they are going to be sitting on a counter, and we don't want them like standing on single little pegs. That works. That works. One down. Perfect. You're going to see a couple kind of colors here too. So here's another pie, and you can see that it's already got a base coat on it. Did I tell you guys? I bought, I think that, okay, I've talked to you guys extensively how I wanted an airbrush machine. I thought that would be really helpful, and I finally bit the bullet on Father's Day. They were having a sale at Angelus, couldn't tell you. And so I bought, I used their discount and bought myself an airbrush machine. I haven't used it yet because one of the promises I wanted to make to myself is that I would use up all of my spray cans. Now, I have a flexible foam. It's literally called Flex-It foam with an exclamation mark. And you're really, the spray paint isn't necessarily made for that. Sometimes it can work, sometimes it doesn't. One of my very best customers, somebody who owns over 70 of my pieces, she was noticing like some of my spray paint coming off of, like it was actually coming off in the box. And sometimes I just don't know what happens when it leaves my house. And I'm so glad that this customer is able to communicate with me, because otherwise it's like a bad review or a disappointing customer who stays silent. And I don't want either of those things. So it was good to know like kind of what works and what doesn't. But I have felt that some of the spray paint works, but I'm super excited to be moving to my airbrush machine whenever I can. Like I said, I want to use all of the spray cans. I have such limited room. I try to make sure that I use every single thing I've ever paid for in all of my crafts and my just using my resources, I guess. Wow, this is flying by. The thing is, this is the first time that I ever sat down and very strategically did this one part of it. Usually I'm taking off the flashing as I go. And sometimes it's minimal, sometimes it's like huge. It's like, ugh, this is so ugly. Oh, this is a good angle too. Like I've said before, my monitor ends up being very helpful to me in the sense that I will literally get to, I can like see like the light through some of this foam, and I can see kind of, we can both see exactly where to cut it, where the flashing meets the object that we want. Okay, guys, I want to know though, what are you guys planning on doing tomorrow? Did you guys already celebrate? Some of you got, I would say like, I don't even know what the percentage is of this particular room who's in the US. I know we've got some guys in Mexico. I want to say Sweden or the Netherlands. But if you live in the US, did you celebrate 4th of July yet? Did you celebrate this weekend? Did you go and do fireworks? Did you? I'll move closer to you. Sorry for being so far away. Tiffany is in Cali. Yes, me too. Did you get one with a reservoir tank? You know, I know what you're talking about, coffee cooking and creations. I think, is it this big? Is it like so big that goes on top of the gun? I don't think so. I think that I thought that I might graduate to that eventually, but I was a little nervous because I didn't know, because it's like carrying a 10-pound weight before you carry like a 2-pound weight. That's how it looked like to me. So I'm starting off kind of easy with myself, because I think I would be changing colors a lot anyways, probably. Coffee Cooking Creations is from the UK. Okay, we actually do have a pretty international audience here, because I can think of quite a few places that you guys are hailing from that's not the US. Just getting overexcited, making a mess with her art, forgetting the always. We don't remember the paper towels. We don't remember the trash cans. Oh, the monitor helping me again. Another thing about my food art that is so important. So we've got a little bit of a defect right here. We've got like a bubble hole. One thing that I can do, I can fill that hole with some of my, I guess you would call it puffy paints, 3D paints, whatever you want to call it. Or we turn this into something that utilizes that hole. And with food, things can be on a large range, like two ends of the spectrum when it comes to rustic looking or very professional and polished looking. And it still can be food, which is so forgiving about this art form when it comes to these advanced materials. I'm like hollowing out, making sure that this little opening is nice and trimmed. This is where somebody's head goes when they wear this. Perfect. Oh, you guys are really helping me out, because this is the kind of project that I can sit and do alone, or I can be with friends, or I can take it places. Like I said, this was the first time that I very specifically isolated this task to do with like to do them all at once. Usually I do them as they're coming out of the mold. But what's been really nice about kind of segmenting this out is that I have this big bag, and if I'm like doing an art night or you know, this or even, I haven't done this yet. Maybe I'll do it before I I finish all of these foods, which I don't think I will tonight. I had this idea that I have this really adorable cafe in Los Angeles. It's called Republic of Pie. There's probably a couple different locations in the city, but the one that I go to features folk music, live folk music every single night for at least 6 nights, or 5 or 6 nights out of the week. And that just blows my mind. Like, it's unfortunate because, you know, it's so common and ubiquitous at this place that like this amazing musician might be playing to all of 4 people, like sitting on their computer or eating a piece of pie. But and like you just go in to have a coffee, or like that's the price of admission. I once listened to this artist, and again, when I go there, I don't necessarily know who is playing. I can see it on the website, but I don't know who they are. And so I remember listening to an artist, and I'm going to find her name just so that I can give her credit, where she's playing the piano. And I am just absolutely dumbfounded at the sadness and the soul that was coming out of her songs. I can recognize her name. It's something like, I want to say it's something like Sarah Wild or something like that. It's like we'll see. But I was just so impressed with both the amount of emotion that was coming out of her singing and piano playing. Amazing singer, like perfect, like something, you know, if these people become known, they could literally touch the lives of so many people. Cat Wolf, I'm pretty sure. Yes, Cat Wolf. That sounds about right. Hope I'm not mixing her up with anyone else, but I'm pretty sure that's it. And the thing about her piano playing that was very interesting is that every once in a while it would sound like there's a bum key, but you very quickly understood that it was very intentional. So we'd have this very slow kind of emotional and meandering piano, and then all of a sudden, like the it would be minor, or, you know, it would hit wrong. And then you listen to the recording, and it's very, that's the way it's supposed to be. And it was so moving. And I'll go to those kinds of performances. I go to this one performance every month. Okay. So we got our piece right here. It's practically perfect. Wow. And then I had this big, like, elephant trunk hanging off of it. This is where, like, if you could imagine, the foam was pouring out of the side and just kind of creating a mess. So, like I said, I try to utilize everything. These little edges end up becoming apple pieces, like sliced apple, that go into my apple pies. So basically you see that and you understand it to be a piece of the baked apple. And so I'll collect these, and eventually I'll have a pie that's going to be turned into an apple pie, a cherry pie that's going to be an apple pie. What a perfect time for the all-American holidays. By the way, I think we were doing our very American pie piece last time, and that it sold the next day it sold the day of that it was released. I was so excited. Shipped it out the next day. One of my great customers purchased it, my collectors, and it was very, very exhilarating. That was a cake. That was a cake that we just had, a piece of cake. Yes. William says, I may go up for a free veterans meal. Oh, that's great. Maybe see if a friend is free for a movie bowling. Celebrate. Oh, no, it's an air reservoir tank. So, okay, sorry. Okay, so coffee, cooking occasions. You're referring to the reservoir tank in the airbrush gun. I don't know. I got a pump, if that's what you mean. I got a generator, an air generator, and I got a gun. The last time I saw you, you were doing 100 donuts. Oh my gosh. If that's true. Was that when I was making felt donuts? Oh my goodness. That can't be right. That was years ago. 100 donuts, huh? I don't remember what that was. Yeah, this piece of cake. Oh, I threw it behind me. See, I've started to actually dye some of my foam as well, so that I can actually come out with a completely pink piece of ice cream, and it will be strawberry forever. You know, that's what it is. I'm revising my fake apple pie right now. Pies are fun. Oh, I know. Pies are probably one of the best pieces of decor, particularly because they're just, I mean, they were always such a piece of art to begin with, you know, kind of like homemaker mom will set her pie on the counter to cool or on the windowsill to cool. And it was always such a symbol of, I mean, to me, it's a symbol of, you know, this quintessential painting, this illustration of the American dream. It's nice to pretend sometimes. It's so funny. I was just thinking as I was standing by I was washing dishes, and I was like, Jessica, you're so interestingly hypocritical. Not hypocritical. Well, that's me. That's the harsh way to say it. But like, you know, I do this homemaker thing. You know, I love femininity. I love this light touch when it comes to all this food. At the same time, I've always been like this, just like so anti-traditionalism, so, go your own way. And yet I still kind of hang on to these visuals of a much simpler time because I didn't live it. You know, it wasn't part of my own history. It's basically, completely idealized for me, which is, to be honest, one reason why I cannot wait to see the Barbie movie. I haven't been interested in a movie event in a very long time, but I I have an understanding of what it's about. I mean, from the trailer, I can glean that it's like a kind of fish out of water experience where Barbie has to go find moral value in a plastic world. I'm assuming that's what the thematics are going to be. But it also looks like a lot of fun to get there. I just love. I've seen quite a couple of videos on the constructing of the sets and the costumes, of course. I'm a general Margot stan. It's like an oxymoron. And yeah, I don't know. Is there anything? I mean, I heard that quite a couple of the big blockbusters of this past week are in hot water, including Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. One of my friends mentioned that they had seen it, and I go to him, what was the Dial of Destiny? It just sounded so corny that I couldn't believe that when I saw the billboard for it, that was a real movie. I never saw the original one, so it's not like I'm dissing something that I actually have any knowledge about, but from an outsider, it just looked like it wasn't going to do well, and apparently it didn't. And then also, I guess, Teenage Kraken also didn't hit it out of the park at the box office. But there have been a lot of successes like Spider-Verse. I'm literally repeating what I listened to on Philip DeFranco today. But I guess Oppenheimer is being released the same day as Barbie. I don't want to go anywhere near Oppenheimer. For one thing, correct me if I'm wrong. We know how it ends. I guess that would be this thing to say about the Titanic as well. Like, this happened before. We know how it ends. But I don't know. I think I'd rather shove my non-existent brain into a chilly theater, being high and watching Barbie, the beautiful Margot Robbie, tiptoe around her Barbie house and try to find deeper meaning in this shallow world. I think that sounds more fun. Unless I'm being very, very misunderstanding of what Oppenheimer is going to be like. Is anyone excited for Oppenheimer? Is anyone excited for any of the movies coming out? Let me see here. When Dial of Destiny is supposedly reckoning Indy's son from the last movie. Wait, was Shia LaBeouf in this? Was that his son? I don't know. I actually don't know. I just know the facts. I just know the movie facts. Shia LaBeouf. Was that his son? It seems like Shia LaBeouf could be his son, character-wise. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm going to get so many of these done. I'm so excited. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for keeping me company. Retconning. I actually don't know what that means. I think it sounds like a military term. I don't know. or a video game term. Shia LaBeouf was in The Crystal Skull. Was that not the last one? I don't know what he played. It's odd to see you with short hair. Is that your natural color? This is my natural color. It's really quite coming in. My true natural color is whatever is on the very top of my head. And the rest is like a dye that's fading into blonde. So yeah, this is my natural. We're not bothering with it anymore. We're going to give it the easy road. We're going to be brunette from now on. Guys, I have to admit, I've been really talking and thinking about really getting back into wig collecting. It's the weirdest hobby. It's the weirdest, dumbest thing that I can spend my money on. But man, like somebody like me really, really needs to change their identity at least every week. I have to kind of try on all of my wigs that I have here again to see if any of them seem worthy enough to step out into Los Angeles wearing. If anybody is unaware, for a good amount of rec radio and an entire year of my college experience, I wore wigs for I wore wigs for about like at least a year or two, something like that. And I don't know when I stopped wearing wigs or how long I actually was wearing wigs, but I love it. I had dyed and chemically burned off all of my hair when I was trying to make it blonde. And then just, I was like, well, now I can start my wig collection. And I started with all the cheap wigs from China and Korea that literally were almost disposable. But, you know, sometimes I have an outfit and I'm like, the hair doesn't go. The hair doesn't go with it. But yeah, I always like to ask people, and I'll ask you guys a question. Let's see, what were you guys answering to my question? When a movie retcons a plot, means they make a sequel and remove prior characters or story elements and pretend it's not canon. Oh, interesting. Oh my. That really would shake up, I assume, a loyal fan base. But whatever, I guess. I can remember using food dye. I did use food dye in my hair, in my blonde hair. I did do that a lot. I did that, yeah, and this is just Paul, had the blonde hair with the food dye in the hair. But yeah, I'm thinking of seriously, like, I was like, where's the closest wig store where I could actually try these on and find a very high quality, expensive wig that I might wear all the time. It was always such a fun little hobby for me. No on Oppenheimer. I last watched the D&D movie and Air, not really feeling the movies every weekend or two like previous years. I the clerk at my donut shop that I go to at least like twice a week. He sees a movie every single weekend, so I get to ask him like, "Oh, what's the movie this weekend? What are we seeing?" There's really something new every weekend. Maybe one day I'll get back into movies, like the idea of really loving them. I was thinking about this too today. You know, when I meet somebody here in Los Angeles, one of the closest, the fastest, easiest ways to really start to relate to them is that they have any kind of taste in music, like that I can recognize and I can talk to them about it, because it's more rare here to find people that are very interested in either musicianship, a specific genre, a couple of specific bands. I really can get down, you know, on someone's level with that kind of discussion, when more people here are much more interested in talking movies, and I don't watch them. So I always think like, this is what the dishes are for. I was thinking about this when I was doing the dishes and listening to music. I gotta say, the dishes, if there was any chore that I don't mind doing, it says dishes. It's like my shower thought time. It's my meditation time. Anyways, I feel like if I ever start working in the music industry, which contains more, I guess you'll say specifically the rock industry, because I know, like, talk about the diversity of an industry and a genre of entertainment. But I think that I'm afraid that if I ever really started to work seriously in the music industry, which I haven't, I don't even count rec radio. That was like a hobby under the giant umbrella of entertainment. But I think I'd start to resent it. Like, when it comes to watching some movies or wanting to watch movies, sometimes I feel like I'm just going to sit there and feel FOMO. You know, that's so dumb. But you know, working in Hollywood, you know, I would love to be making them even more than I'm watching them. Piece of bread down. Look at that beautiful guy. Kind of pale for bread. Got another hot dog. It's a healthy boy. But any 4th of July plans, guys? I'm going to go to hot yoga hopefully in the morning. I'm pretty excited. I tried hot yoga for the first time last week. That was actually when people were like, "Hey, what's up, Jess?" It's like, I went to hot yoga for the first time. Check that off my bucket list. I never understood why it's hot. Like I was like does it do something? This is what I thought. I'll tell you the story about my first trip to hot yoga. So my friend Jeremy, my dear friend Jeremy, he came over for art night and we were customizing lighters. Oh, that's something to show you. Oh, it's all the way downstairs. I customized a lighter. It was really cool. He thought of a really fun craft and something really fun to do as gifts. So basically it's taking newspaper clippings, magazine clippings, and Mod Podging them around the lighter. And I was going to say, I didn't think of flammability, but we used water-based sealants, so it should be fine. And so, you can put any kind of picture around a lighter and it's something that people can use. And it's like a little collage on a very tiny thing. It's very cool. And so he's like, well, Jess, I got to leave in like a little bit early because I wanted to go to hot yoga. And he goes, do you want to go to hot yoga? And I'm thinking like, yeah, why not? Why not? What else are we doing? What else am I going to do tonight? You're just going to leave me here and then I'm going to just continue crafting by myself? He's like, dope. Like, I don't think I think he expressed that he didn't expect me to say yes, which I don't really know why. Because I'm down for stuff. But I don't know. Maybe I don't seem like the person that gets sweaty. Well, I'll tell you. So, we do our crafts. We eat some food. We took shots of salt water. I was like, I don't know about that. He's like, no, this is very helpful. Like this will help. And probably did. Maybe, I don't know. So hot yoga, we get there. And this place, he was explaining, this place has all different kinds of hot yoga. Like it has yin, which is like chill yoga with candles, with battery operated candles. It's very peaceful. And then there's something like, I think it was called like torque or something. And it was a high cardio version of it. And so I'm like, all right, let's do it. So I go there. And the thing is, I kind of pride myself on staying, I'm going to call it practically fit. I've talked before about being fit by doing practical things in your everyday. I think I've talked about it. I've meant to talk about it, but I don't have a car, and at this point I don't even know if I really ever want or need one because of the self-sufficiency that I give myself. When somebody's paying so much money to go to a gym every day, to drive their car to go to a gym, instead a couple times a week I run and walk around my neighborhood doing errands, being very naturally active. And it will really, of course, if you drive everywhere, it would take a lot maybe for you to leave your car in the garage and just venture out to see what you could do on foot. But it's really the only way that I can see myself staying relatively active and healthy and fit without trying too hard. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this on this live stream. I am manifesting a skateboard. I want to be that bitch. I want to be a skateboarder and I want to figure it out. It could be a longboard. Every time I bring up a skateboard to somebody, they're like, but have you tried longboarding? And I'm like, bitch, I just heard of longboarding this year. So maybe, but I think I want to be that person and I'm manifesting it. I don't want to buy a skateboard. I want it to come to me. I believe I can make it come to me. Like that's what I'm talking about. And if it does, man, I'm going to be like, okay, well, what can I wish for next? But I'm going to become a skateboarder. I'm going to live my dream. And I'm going, apparently I looked this up. I'm like thinking walking would obviously yield more calorie burn than skateboarding because you're like using more of your muscles maybe. But then I thought of skateboarding. I'm like, man, those muscles get really tired. I've stood on a skateboard before. I'm like, those muscles would get really tired from balancing and pushing, and you're going faster and taking less time. So basically, a lot of this, apparently, like, you burn a very similar amount as walking. If I saw the calculations correctly in some kind of article, because I had to look it up. And but really what you're saving is the amount of time that you spend traveling. And with a skateboard, I'm again doing the same amount of good in the air by not putting any pollutants into the air. So I'm not like riding any kind of motorized vehicle. Hey Jess, hey Valerie, hello. Everybody say hi to Val. If you're good at this point, I'd stick with the non-car lifestyle. Lots of nagging things. William. Lots of nagging things with cars. That's my philosophy. I know that, these are, by the way, these are always my excuses for not having a car. I love talking about my excuses. But I mean, I really take pride in that idea. Like, I'm not a perfect person when it comes to doing my part for the environment. I literally try with every single aspect I can. Like, I guess, I eat meat. I could do better, I guess, but I'm always going to eat meat. So, so this is my contribution. I have no idea how recyclable these are. Hopefully just people keep them forever. See, I'm not a perfect person, but yes. So I think if I hope that I can get myself invited to a local barbecue from some friends or friends of friends around here. But if I can't, then I am going to make barbecue pulled pork and like a whipped dream. This is what whipped dream to me. Like, when I say whipped dream, I always mean cream cheese whipped cream and berry parfait, and that would be the dessert, and that would be my dinner. I'll bring the dessert. Just invite me. All my friends are doing something. I just don't know where they are. Have you seen the Japanese jiggly cake? It says coffees, cooking, and creations. I have. I think I know what you mean. The thing is with that, would that even be considered cake? It seems to be a very uncake-like, unless it's like a souffle, like a Japanese pancake kind of deal. No, Valerie. Sorry, I just wanted to put you up there. I've never tasted it. Have you tasted it? Coffee, cooking, and creations. Is it yummy? The look of it, if I'm remembering correctly, reminds me of flan. Here, let's see what it looks like. Flan. I don't think I've ever eaten flan either. Japanese jiggly cake. Look at those. Whoa, look at those. Yum. That does actually look really good. Yo. Oh, look at that. It looks so smooth and creamy. Oh my God, yum. It's very light and airy. I wonder if it's wet. What I'm curious about is how wet it is as a cake. It seems like I said, flan, and flan usually like is bleeding a goo. So I'm not sure. I just got a bunch of random fake food on the floor behind me. You can see it in the mirror. So as I was saying, with some of these, we got a lot of pre-painting going on. It looks dirty, but that's just the paint. This is kind of what I'm doing with the molds, with the air gun. I am going to be pre-painting the mold so that I kind of get one step of it done, killing two birds with one stone, as we say. in the sense that I can get a base coat down, and also I can create a mold release, because if there's one thing that'll stick to a silicone mold, it is a bad mix of this memory foam. Because when this memory foam is still working its magic, it is considered one of the strongest adhesives. Like if you touch it while it's still doing its thing, before it's set and dry, it is easy, very easy example would be a melted marshmallow. It is white, it is gooey, it is sticky, it is elastic. It will ruin your clothes. Got my candles on over here. Yeah. So sometimes if, God damn it. I don't think you can see that. My monitor is glitching out, and I don't want to touch it. What was I saying? Come on. There you go. Please chill. Please chill. Technical difficulties. Only over here, hopefully. But yeah, so what was I saying? I don't remember what I was talking about. Pre-paint. Oh, I'm so glad I'm getting this done, you guys. Heck, maybe I will get it all done. I would like to make it out to, I wonder if Republic Pie is open on 4th of July. I'm gonna have to see. That would be cute. Oh my gosh, if I had absolutely no place to go, that would be cute. And sad. I kind of like spending some holidays alone. I remember one time I wanted to see, I stayed home for either 4th of July or New Year's because I wanted to see what happened out off of my balcony as far as visuals for the fireworks. I saw a bunch just miles into the distance, so it didn't really translate that well, but it is peaceful. Oh, I definitely did that on New Year's because I remember it being, very late at night. I was practically in pajamas, and I love doing this shit. I used to do this all the time. Kind of just spending time with myself. I really love it. It sounds dirty. I assure you it's not. But I had a cup of coffee. I was standing out on my balcony at midnight, watching, like I could hear in the background the ticking down. And then in the distance, I heard one house scream at midnight. And it was, and everything else was kind of silent. Maybe a couple fireworks going off in the distance. But it was so peaceful. It was midnight. I am never out there at midnight. It would probably be too cold and I would be inside. Trying to get warm and get cozy. I should do it more often though. Should wear my big wearable blanket. Just sit out there at midnight. I like to see the cats. One time I was sitting there and I'm on the 2nd floor, so I can see, and I'm kind of like on a third floor above ground because we've got a garage underneath, and there was, out of the corner of my eye, I saw something in a place that it shouldn't have been. And it was a little black and white cat walking down a rooftop. It was so odd, like just a cat walking out. I mean, maybe that doesn't sound odd to people, but I don't ever see it do that. And it sees me. I'm getting my phone out to take a picture, just like any basic white girl. And I just get a picture of it just like staring from the bushes as it had gone down into. Oh my God, too cute. Too cute. Mold release. That's right. Coffee, cooking, and creations. Yeah, I have actual mold release. but it doesn't give me a pre-paint on this stuff. The paint, that's my point of it all. The can you stop? Like my monitor's just like, nah, I want to glitch. Can you just, okay. What was I saying? I don't remember again. Okay, finally, I think nope. I'm so easily distracted. Man, to do a play would be so hard for me anymore because I'm just like, look at that person's outfit. What's my next line? Am I supposed to be talking right now? That's me. Does anyone have favorite cookout food? So I'm doing, the fruit parfait and pulled pork, barbecue pulled pork. Does anybody have like something that they look so forward to when they go to a barbecue? Like a summery barbecue? What do I like? I'll always get myself like a hot dog or burger, even if I'm not eating it with a bun. Well, that's so funny. Like, it's like I'm going to gobble down a piece of meat with toppings, but I will eat the sugariest thing at the dessert table. That's just me. Priorities. Dudes, when I get this skateboard, that's definitely going to be one of our projects. We're definitely going to paint the bottom of the skateboard. I assume that whatever skateboard is going to be handed to me from fate, it's not going to look exactly like I wanted to. Maybe it will. That'd be really weird. That'd be crazy. I have a lot of these guys. Did I already do one? Yeah. Which is good because I'm going to need them. That's the next multi-mold that I'm going to make. Like, I've already made what I'm calling like a multi-mold of donuts, my big donuts. So I have, I think, a dozen of those in one big mold. And then I have my ice cream cones as a multi-mold. Here's a little tip and trick. So as you see, this would be called a corrupted piece. Like the skin is like hovering off the top of this, and the outside where my paint was picked up on the skin. Thank God. Also, it probably would have been a disaster. Now this skin, so I'll have you look real close. Like it's really not part of the donut so much. It's really just holding on there for dear life. And I have to probably eventually get it all off because maybe even right now, at least the most of it, because again, it's not really sitting on a good foundation. It was this particular donut is kind of hard and it's got this corrupted skin, but that's okay. We can still use it, hopefully, in some manner. Again, my food can be perfect or imperfect and it still looks like food depending on what I'm selling here, what design I'm selling. And technically the icing will go on top of this, just as long as it has something good to grab onto. This skin would have been a problem. It would have been kind of scary, but I think I can easily put some icing over this and no one would be the wiser, particularly with this kind of thing. If the bottom is all structured and great, like this skin is actually pretty attached. So I'm not going to go pulling at this nice skin on the side here. We'll get to, use that for our visuals and just make sure that it's sealed up on the bad parts. It's very hard. Something like this would probably go on like a one-of-a-kind piece that has no precedent because it was kind of it's not going to be like the others. One thing is not like the others. So we're just going to use it wisely. I've actually been wanting to make like a blingy donut, like a silver, because I have lots of silver paint and I have lots of like glitter and rhinestones. So I was thinking of just like making a literal like silver donut with a bling donut. I guess for silver second place. Or I guess that'd be third. No, silver, gold, bronze. Yeah. We'll see about that one. That one might be too far gone. We'll see. We'll see what we can do with it. Look at this masterpiece. That one's nice. Hello? Sometimes my mold pieces get stuck, which is totally fine. You can literally, because they're made of this silicone, it doesn't stick to anything. It doesn't stick to anything good, which is great. That's what we need it to do. You know something? I was in a car the other day. I was in an Uber on my way back from the swap. So my room is like covered with clothes, like all that stuff back there. Oh, I forgot to turn my lights on. All that stuff back there is like clothes that I'm cycling in and out. I do these things. It's like one of my favorite events 4 times a year or so. Me and my friends, we do a free clothing swap where me and a bunch of my girlfriends will literally all get our outdated fashion, the stuff we don't want to wear anymore, and we bring it to a house. We lay it all out. I'm sure I've told you about before. I love it. And so I was getting into an Uber at midnight, and I run into this guy named Joe. He's my Uber driver. And so right away, I'm like stumbling at midnight into this Uber with like 2 full bags of clothes, the ones that I picked out and the ones that I needed to get rid of after the swap. And I literally like kicked and lost my shoe practically under the car. So this guy is like joking with me. He's like, I didn't know what you were doing there for a second. Like I was just going to let you go and just like, discover what's going on under my car. And I'm like, I'm not even drunk right now. And so basically this guy, he was a cinematographer and he was just high on fucking life. The thing is, if I'm going to get a jokester, if I'm going to get somebody to banter with, you better know I'm not going to stop the entire ride. He was very impressed. And then I was thinking, oh yeah, why do I do that? Or why would I be good at like literally keeping a conversation going and not putting it down, not dropping the ball? And it probably has a lot to do with these live streams where like, I'm really the only one here. I need to keep the conversation going. Well, I can talk to you guys, which is very helpful. It's always very helpful. But I talked to this guy about everything for 25 minutes. He was quirky. He was very quirky. He was a cinematographer. And I think it's the funnest game that you can play with people. I'll tell you guys a secret. Like, it's a secret that I feel like it's not a secret to know. It's a secret to agree with or to understand that everybody almost wants to start a conversation. I'm sure that it's much easier, if a cute girl starts walking up to somebody to start a conversation, which I get is kind of a privilege in that regard. But if you can hold a good conversation, if you can ask some interesting questions, if you can, keep the conversation going, I find that more interesting and more fun than like sitting and watching a movie with somebody or playing board games. It's my favorite kind of game. Coffee Cooking and Creation says, have you still got your painted suitcase? I absolutely do. It is right behind that mirror door right there. I take it everywhere. I'm a little scared because there was a point where I was like, man, this thing could break. It actually already has like I broke a part of the handle off. And I'm like, dang. And I guess this happens with everything because, I mean, the jacket that I thought I was going to be buried in is a piece of garbage at this point. So I have to understand that some things are ephemeral. Some things are not permanent. Scary. But I guess it does teach us a little bit about loss. You know, sometimes you can replace something, sometimes you can respect it for the time that you had it. Like I wanted to duplicate my jacket. Like I think a lot of you guys said like, oh, or I don't remember who said it earlier in the conversation. I saw that in your pictures. Yeah, no, it was a different jacket. It's let's see the comparison as it is right now. Okay, here's the old guy. Now, I've mentioned before, I'm kind of this is the 2.0. It's going to be kind of different, but we've got a lot of the same things going on here. Wait a minute, let me zip it up so we can see all the sides. So one thing that I did realize after I had screwed in all of my screws was that I forgot to leave a little space for this guy. And then I'm like, should I take some out? Like, what should I do? I'm not sure because I really do want one of my monsters on the front. Oh, dang. And I also had some patches on the front, like my pizza was on this. After all of that, man. And as you can see, I think that the new studs are much closer together, or at least maybe it's equal. This one is kind of, I mean, this pattern I remember is all over the place because I would do some lines and then it would be like I would fill it out, but they'd be very spread out. And then over time I would add more in between. So the kind of studs and the pattern got real DIY, real, you know. So yeah. Oh my God. Wait a minute. I just realized. So I bought something and it's actually, it should be downstairs or in my mailbox right now. I meant to go check it out, to go get it. Maybe we'll do that next time. Oh no, I'm going to want to do it soon. So let's put that right down there because it is crumbly. I bought myself a slot puncher. I typed in like slot hole punch. And it's the very small kind of hole, the vertical hole that I want to use for my guitar pick chokers. So basically you're going to have a guitar pick with a choker running through the back of it or held onto like the sides of it. And what I'm really excited about is I've been punching, I'll show you. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but we've done it before. I've got this hole puncher. And when I use up old credit cards or such, this will be the side that you would use because it's great. You can chop it into guitar picks, working guitar picks, because I mean, I'm sure that actual guitar players will have preferences on like softness, flexibility, blah, blah, blah. But they are guitar picks. So, not only am I interested in like handing out guitar picks to people I know, like musicians. It's a way for me to like connect with musicians, I think. But also, I think the last time that I talked to you guys, I showed you some of my favorite ones that were very kind of scandalous, or just said anything at all, really, like that was interesting. Like there's definitely one in here from like a hard-on medication. That is so funny. And so I'm going to take, like, here's some hands. There, this is from the, yeah. So I'm going to take some of the best ones, and they're going to be one of a kind, like guitar pick chokers, something that you can't, because I'm punching them out of random cards and finding kind of random designs and random text. They're going to be pretty one of a kind, pretty special. I'm pretty excited about it. And so basically what I just ordered and what should be down in my mailbox is a punch that's going to punch basically a little slit in the side, kind of like the size and shape of your USB-C. They're both male ends, small USB-C. And so basically it would punch that hole and I can slip a choker through it, and you can be wearing a very obvious. Let's pick out the ones that I'm going to use, or at least ones that I think I'm going to use, because there's all kinds of things here. So this is from the Olive Garden. This is also from the boner pills that I found on the ground. Such a punk. Some of these just have kind of like cool designs. Like this was from the same 7-Eleven card, but it's it's kind of a generic design. If I find something that makes sense or looks good, like that's what we're going to turn to a necklace. And of course, there's so many of these that like I can create an entire lampshade, or well, I wouldn't do that. You'd literally see none of the light, but except for slits. But I can make a purse, and I'm also going to be putting them on my jacket as armor. This is one I painted. I don't know if that would be allowed, as I'm the one that's doing it. What the heck, Jessica? It sucks though, because like I'm gonna obviously keep my favorites. So. Oh yeah, this has got to be one. It just says stamina, so it would hang like that, maybe. Just says middle class tax refund. That's actually really punk rock, I think. That's funny. I don't even remember what that's from. Maybe I'll take some of these out. Okay, middle class tax refund. Where did that go? Oh, God damn it. Why did I do that? Just a 7-Eleven drink. Oh my gosh, that's kind of funny. There it is. Look at them. Totally. Someone will buy that necklace and then they'll see it in the store and they're like, oh, at the gas station or something, the boner pills. Yeah, some of these are painted and look kind of cool. Like that one is pretty darn neat. I suspect I'm going to be painting a lot of these. So one of the goals of this too is to kind of try to punch out something that maybe not necessary. Oh, like this. This is great. Again, that's the 7-Eleven card coming through for us. This Olive Garden card. Totally. I'm gonna set like a broad amount aside just so that I can maybe experiment with them. Obviously, I kind of have to. Huh. What was that? Huh. What was that? Was that my old ID? Why did I punch my ID? Obviously my name. And the California Bear? Maybe? I don't know what that is. That's really random. I'm gonna obviously have to have that one, or someone else named Jessica will have to have it. Now, these aren't even all the guitar picks I had. I pulled some off of this exact. Here's a Slurpee. That's so funny. I pulled some off of this jacket and they actually already have the holes in them. That's why I can tell that these aren't them. They're in my drawer, I'm assuming, or somewhere. Any other cool ones? Come on, guys. Maybe these hands. Yeah. I was really trying with those burner pills. It says no contracts. It's all right. I guess it's all right. Never works. Never works. Never works. Ooh. This one's pretty good too. This is another Olive Garden card. Oh yeah, this was the one I was looking for. This is the one I was looking for. That's definitely gonna be one. Okay. I'll probably use some of these for my very first test because I have no idea how that punch is gonna work out. Okay, what do you think, guys? Should I go and get that punch and try it out? Or should we continue trimming our flash? That sounds dirty. Oh, here's another Olive Garden one. It's the most fun way to destroy your credit cards. What happened to the jacket you painted red? It's actually right where it's in the same place that I just pulled that old jacket from. I don't know what to do with them yet because I'm not giving them away. Definitely this one. I'm probably gonna frame it, like put it in a shadow box or something. If anyone forgets who's back here. I love him so much too that I don't know how I can improve on this guy. I just love his character. So I guess I'm gonna try to go for a duplicate, I guess. Because that's who I wanted on the back of my jacket, you know? That exact guy. Everything about him. I even started painting him in a different way, and I was like, no, it's not right. And I covered him up, and then I made this alien. He's a punk rock alien. He's crude. He's got the middle finger up to whoever's looking. His name is Tucker, and I just love him. He's me incarnate. Incarcerated. Okay. Fun. Cute. Whoa. Yes, why not give you a break? A break from the cutting of the... Should we? It'll take me a couple minutes. You guys can listen to music, and I'll go get that hole punch, see if I can find it. Okie doke. Let's see what we got here. So I think it was a 15 millimeter slit. We don't want it too big, or 10 millimeter. I actually don't remember which one not it. Okay. Looks like we won't be punching any more holes into plastic tonight. Okay. That was my brand new yellow bra. So. Break time, tell the wacky, embarrassing just ball stories. Too late. I already embarrassed myself. Cute. Party. You guys, let's see. What YouTube rabbit hole am I on this week? Basically, I don't know if you guys are into Drag Race, but just basically watching all of Trixie and Katya's stuff. It's intense. They have like a couple hundred episodes of their little their series where they really talk about nothing or just bullshit for like a half hour until we have hilarious content. And I have been burning through it. This is the first time ever that I get to watch Drag Race as it's airing. I don't know if I'm watching it exactly as it's airing. I think that I'm watching the newest All Stars. Yeah, I think it's actually airing right now. And I've never gotten to do that before. I was always a little bit behind, although I haven't seen the most recent season of Drag Race at all. So I am behind on the regular Drag Race, but I'm all caught up on All Stars. So it's been fun. Love drag queens. Kind of obsessed. Like, I think I told you guys last time that I am also putting it out there into the universe that I eventually would love to collaborate with a drag queen on some kind of fake food costume. Man, you could totally put that on your boobs. Why isn't anyone doing this stuff? Fake coconut Hulu bra, except I don't have coconuts. I can make a lot of different kinds of bras. My mom, it's so funny. So last year, I don't have any of them in the stash right now, but I think you guys were there. I made a mold for a whipped cream cup breast and also like a bikini piece. And I made it in time for Halloween, but if I'm remembering correctly, I just kind of, maybe it was a little bit late, but I definitely petered out and did not end up marketing the costume because I didn't know who would model it. Like, I didn't want to ask somebody to model it, even though friends said that they just would. I just never organized that. And I was like, I guess. I don't know. So she's like, you better get on that early. You should market that costume. I'm like, yeah, I literally made it for that. I mean, it actually serves as other things. But one thing that I know what I'm doing this year for when it comes to my fake food costume. I think that I told you guys I wasn't going to tell you last time. Yeah, I'm going to keep it a secret, especially if I don't do it. But I'm going to probably be making one of the more extensive costume pieces than I ever have yet. It's going to be pretty one of a kind, or at least very rare, because it's going to, yeah, no, it's definitely, it has to be one of a kind. And yeah, and it's basically one of the only like costume pieces. Like, it's literally something that you would wear, like that you would put around your body as opposed to just like a hat, which is what I make pretty well. But we're every single year, we just go a little further. We try a little harder. We get a little bit more ambitious. We see where it takes us. But I do have a costume idea for this year. I am very excited. And we are burning through a lot of this fake food. Some of this paint coming right off. We'll fix that later. This was a half shell This is like a half of a donut because it came out of the mold a little early, or didn't fill up the mold, and I just took it out. Hoping we can make maybe a sandwich with it, like a donut sandwich. I got plans. Adorable. I do need to alter these sleeves. Like, they're just a little bit too loose and stretched out. So I think, I mean, this is a secondhand garment, but that's what we get. Man, that year that I made 100 donuts, I actually ended up making something like 300 donuts, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my God. How much of the bag we have left? Let's see. Dude, we're like halfway down this bag. That's really good. Deja vu. Wow. Just take some good friends, little music, chips for dinner. Oops, let's not cut into the pancake there. Pancakes on pancakes. Donut burger. That's right. Yeah, I've made some mini size donut burgers, I guess you'd call them. Like it would be kind of like a strawberry shortcake where you'd have a lot of whipped cream and icing in the middle with some strawberry pieces. At least that's what I made before. And I think that someone would cherish that. I think I've sold one like that before, but it was kind of a one-off piece, and that's what they kind of are, because you kind of wait for some of these imperfect pieces that can kind of turn into a very one-of-a-kind thing that you can't keep duplicating, basically. I love the one-of-a-kind pieces. They're so special. Like that pie that we did last week. That's very cute. If I were to suggest one part to update when you bring back your Misty cosplay, it's the shoes. Wonder what I probably had. Wonder what I wore. I don't even remember. Some kind of tennis shoe. Okay, we're bringing back that. We're bringing up. Oh my gosh, this is a decade old stuff. When I saw the Ash versus Misty video with you and Katie, your Converse shoes were black. Can I suggest red shoes, like Misty sneakers? Yep, that's where that took some of my artistic liberties there. No, I'm just lazy. That's how that happens. Were you guys ever into those like rocket popsicles? Or how about this? Does anybody ever get ice cream from an ice cream truck? It's like there's an ice cream truck that comes through my neighborhood all summer long. And the thing is, like, I like ice cream, but it's really the novelty of getting it out of a truck that's the coolest part. Cause like it's not the best kind of ice cream. Oh man, I've got an opinion about everything. Oh my gosh, I didn't go into the hot yoga story. Okay. My first hot yoga class ever. So me and Jeremy go. And like I said, I this is where I got off track. I was trying to say that I stay practically fit. So I was pretty confident. I've been trying to say yes to more things, or at least, take chances when I would have automatically said no. And I wanted to, it didn't make any sense for me to like turn down this little opportunity to spend more time with my good friend and to get some exercise in and to get a new experience under my belt. So we drove over. He was very excited that we were early. And I'm like, we're like 15 minutes early. I mean, they're going to like start the class like 15 minutes. And he goes, yeah, but usually I'm driving up as they're starting. I'm like, okay. And so I get in there and I go up to the counter, amazingly nice and perky staff. They're so excited for you to be there. I said, hey, this is my first class. And they're like, welcome, welcome. And I got signed up and registered. And then out comes the guy who's going to be kind of teaching the class, the instructor. And I mean instructor because he really just taught us what to do. I don't always like that. Like if you want to be the instructor, can you please do these things with us? Because that ended up being one of the only things that I got tripped up on. So this instructor, he's like, hey, it's your first time. I kind of give this speech to everybody. If you're in there and you're feeling like you can't go on, at least try to stay in the room. And I'm like he goes, just even if you're lying down on your mat, just try to stay in the room. And I go, like, I probably made the scrunchiest, stupidest, douchiest face. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I would like leave the room. I just was dumbfounded that would be necessary. And then I learned that it was a 60-minute class. And then I walked into the studio for the first time, went through the doors, like, me and Jeremy were doing salt shots. We had our cucumber ice rags. And then we went into this room. It was fucking 90 degrees. I didn't really know what to expect when I even heard the term hot yoga. I knew it meant it was hotter than usual, but it was a sauna. And I was sitting there, I'm like, uh-oh. I don't know if I'm prepared for this. And I'm kind of sitting on my mat. I'm like doing all I'm looking around and everybody's kind of meditating or stretching. And so I kind of panic a little bit inside because I don't know if I mentioned this. This was the cardio class. This was the kind of yoga that was like going to get your heart pumping and make you sweat if you weren't already sweating when you got into the room. So I have to say, over the 60-minute class, we were doing all kinds of like quick, yoga pose. What do you call it? Like formations. We were speeding them up. We were like, balancing on one leg, all kinds of things. And I was very proud of myself. Everybody's sweating in there. And I was so proud of myself that I was like surviving, like a sometimes high activity, high intensity workout in a 90-degree room until the last 10 minutes. And then I was like, uh-oh, I am starting to see spots. I am getting dizzy to the point where I would think it would pass. Like if maybe you held your breath one too many seconds, like just wasn't going away. So there was a very short portion where I just sat still and people were still moving. And I'm like, let me just let this pass. I think I finished out the class with kind of a revised version of what was going on, of how we are moving, just so that I mean, guys, could you imagine how embarrassing that would be? Like me talking shit to the instructor in the lobby, only to be the only one who faints in the class. Was not going to let that happen. And another thing, I kind of felt like I could puke. And then as I was feeling like that, I was thinking, what if someone puked in here? Like, it would be noxious. It's not only vomit, it is baking vomit. I don't know the answer to any of these questions. I was asking tons of people after this, like, hey, have you ever seen anyone like faint or throw up in yoga? It seems like a possibility, but apparently no takers. No one's necessarily seen it. Man, I think all the smaller, stupider stuff, meaning the stuff that like has a lot of like little corners and little holes and stuff, those are at the bottom because they would have all like fallen through the cracks. Yikes. "90 degrees isn't playing. I would expect 80 if I didn't know better." Yeah, something like that. Like, I honestly was just thinking like they're not going to put the air conditioning on and eventually we're going to get a little sweaty. I had to look up what the benefits were afterwards because I wasn't convinced. Like, when you do it, you feel like you've done so much more because you feel like you earned that workout, I guess is how to say it. But does that equate having more of a workout? Like, is this psychological? Because if it was, I'm not playing those games. I don't need that in my life. I cannot tap into that kind of thing. But apparently it's great for a lot of reasons and a lot of parts of your body. It's great for your respiratory system, breathing in. I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know if it was necessarily steam in there or if you just call it humidity, where it really opens up your breathing system, your nasal passageway, your lungs, your throat, keeping your throat moist. But also, apparently the heat does burn more calories. And what else did they say? It makes you more flexible because when you're doing a stretching warm-up or warm-up exercise, you are technically heating up the muscles to make them pliable. And so the heat is helping you do that. So you're more flexible. You also, they said something about like bone density. I'm not really sure. I don't know if that's just the yoga thing where, because you are balancing on one foot or like practicing your balance, which is another great thing that I would learn and hone on a skateboard. But it apparently worked for almost every aspect of a workout. It was slightly better, down to also the psychological, where you do finish a workout and you feel invigorated, is I think the word that the woman who made the video used, that you are invigorated, you feel alive, you exit the room and you feel like you it's basically like, jumping from the pool to the hot tub and back again, I guess. I assume that's what we're supposed to feel. I enjoyed it. I would do it one more time since I paid for a week. The week in the class was the same price. It's like, well, I guess I'll just pay for this week. And now I'm going back. That's how they get you. I'm going tomorrow morning. I wonder if it's open. We didn't even check. It might not even be open. So, barbecue foods. I love myself a macaroni and cheese. I don't get it nearly enough, and it's not nearly ever as good as I think it's going to be. I haven't had a really good macaroni and cheese. You know, the kind that would come with like a fish fry. Ugh. In a long time. I don't make macaroni and cheese for myself in normal everyday eating. Look at that beauty. Now the insides. I guess I didn't get that whole punch. I guess that it was the bra that it was saying that it had been delivered. I don't know. But I am excited for like just these new endeavors. Like I'm seriously in the works of putting together my own handmade fashion line, technically. Beautiful. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You look like... I don't remember what the model's name is. Hi, Jim. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the fake food party, where we never go to sleep. Just kidding. I'm going to sleep early tonight. Look at this weird little deformity. I guess we had a little bit, I don't know what would have caused that. Oh, I understand. It was kind of like some of the foam gathering up when I would kind of let go of my, like kind of scrape my my spatula on the edge of the mold. Kind of gathered there. Just kind of trimming it down. This will probably be the top. It's a little bit ragged. Nice. Cute. Here are some of our ice creams. I only have 3 colors in these dyes that turn my foam. I have brown for chocolate. I have pink because goodness knows pink stuff sells. And what else do I have? Yellow to add warmth to whatever I'm doing. I use it a lot in my apple pies. Oh, beautiful. These ice creams, I actually started doing in a much denser foam. Usually I use this foam that is very squishy. Oops, got a couple things sticking to this. Very squishy. These guys are a little bit closer to kind of a rubber, you know? It is still polyfoam, but it's kind of keeping its shape for the most part. It doesn't veer very far when you try to squash it around. So the thing is why these should be a little bit stronger. These guys go at the base of my ice cream cones that are melting. So they kind of have to play like the feet of the entire object. And it's where you kind of, let's kind of separate these guys. Oh, it's tough. It's tough because it's rubbery. It's interesting. Satisfying. Yay. Getting shit done. Yeah, honestly, this is the satisfying tube tonight. We trim stuff up till it looks like food. I really don't have to trim too much in here, but I kind of just like, because it doesn't need to be. It's not necessarily like sitting right on top of someone's head. It's acting more of a foot, but I like it to look neat, you know. Presentation is key. No one's ever going to see it, but we want to put out a good product, even if with it being handmade. Man, you could definitely put this on a clip too. Oh, why didn't I do that yet? Actually, that would be kind of interesting. That's a really big clip. I don't know about that. Let's see. Weirdly, like, people love the upside down ice cream, but no takers on just like ice cream without a cone. If it doesn't have a cone, we're not buying it. Okay, let's see here. Huh. That would actually be really cute coming out of somebody's head. I don't know if it's too like tall. Not really. Like if it would be kind of pressed against your head. I guess I would have to print these flat. We can't have them hollow like this necessarily, I don't think, because I don't know where I'd put the clip. So I'd have to, which is totally doable. I actually create the cavity. If I just put a lid on it, then there would be no hole here. This helps it to be a little bit more flexible to fit into places. Oh, but I don't want a flat back because that would come off their hair. That's what this cavity is for. I wonder if I could just do a little bit of a cavity. I don't know. This is practically as big as the base of this, though, I would say. Yeah. Cute. Could you imagine? Imagine it with like with little strawberry pieces in it. Yeah. I think the whipped cream would be too much. I like want so badly to put a whipped cream on top of it, but I think that would really take it over the edge into territory that you can't come back from. Oh my God, that would be so freaking cute. Oh goodness, another product. And man, I've really kind of stapled down a good method of just attaching our alligator clips here. It's low profile. Like basically the only thing sticking up is our little thing. And we kind of need that. And it doesn't matter anyways. If you have any kind of volume of hair, it kind of actually pushes it out a little bit. Whatever. I think that's pretty cute. That would actually, I feel like I would wear like a clip of mine more. I do wear my stuff out. Basically, what I wear out, I wore donuts, a donut headband when we visited Universal Studios because it was I mean, there's a donut theme there for sure with The Simpsons. And then I also do, I don't know if did I show you guys my cherry pie purse yet? I had to have during my little LGBT flag cookie incident. But I'm carrying around a prototype for a cherry pie purse. And it is out of this world. I mean, if you've seen my cherry pies on my website, which if you haven't, just go, the link is right below my face right now. Go check it out. And I basically made it into a working purse. It's just enough room to fit the length of a cell phone. But then you can put another like a couple other things on top of it. Your keys, a little wallet. Maybe some gum. It's worked for me. I am a person who really travels light. I used to literally carry around, I don't know why I always thought I needed to carry my house around on me until I'm like, one day, well, I'm going to go to a punk club and I'm going to dance. So I can't like be like carrying around a freaking purse. Like, what am I going to do with that purse anyways? So I just started like just putting things in my pocket like a dude. And honestly, you know, I never use any, like the majority of the stuff that's in my purse. Sometimes I'll be without something that might have been cool to have a purse, but honestly, it's so much more satisfying to just be free of kind of all that. I even carry around my big headphones, my big dumb big burl headphones. But that's just part of the fashion statement. I'm listening to my headphones on the way to anywhere. Sometimes I'm really excited about a long ride because it means that I can listen to my music while I drive through Hollywood. Drive, as if I drive. I ride through Hollywood. My gosh, talk about seeing, like, the number one thing that I love getting on my phone. That's a good question. What's your favorite notification to get on your phone? My favorite notification is getting a review of one of my pieces, and it's especially accompanied by an adorable little kid in an adorable little costume wearing my fake food. Please. Oh my God, is it just heart melting, adorable. I sometimes write thank you notes to my customers if I can see and also can remember if a customer has bought from me before. So once they buy from me a lot, I'm not going to keep putting the same like thank you postcard in there. Like I write them personal ones after a while. And the way that I pose it sometimes is that they are literally facilitating the spread of joy in their world. Like I think that every time somebody sees this fake food, like I mean I'll speak for myself. Like whenever I wear this fake food out, it just elicits so many smiles. And of course that sounds like an obvious thing that you would want to perpetuate, but more so, it's a kind of acknowledgement of the bizarre, of the fantastical in the real world. When you see, this purse that looks like a perfect pie, I think that I would hope, again, me being very presumptuous and pie in the sky, I would hope that it would not only impress people, but that it would inspire people to think a little bit outside the box, like a lot of artists do for me. Like, honestly, some of my favorite things to do are to, sorry, I whacked you with my donut, my mini donuts. Wait, where did I take somebody that they were just so impressed? What was it? Oh, yeah. I went to a midnight screening of of Dances with Films, and I happened to see two of my friends, unrelated to each other, were in the same exact block at this international film festival. I don't know if Dances with Films is a specifically Los Angeles festival. I can't imagine that it is. But because it's just a very, very well-known name, I would assume. And I got to see these two films. I even have the date on this one. I got to see my friends. I got to congratulate them and just see. I love going to film festivals. Whenever I have the opportunity, whenever I have a reason to go to a film festival, I get my butt there, because whether or not you spend a lot of time networking with all those strangers there, like maybe you have just one decent conversation or make one connection, but more than that, when I go to things like that, when I go to art exhibits, shows of somebody random that I've never heard of, either comedy shows, music shows, when I go out and I explore, I come back not only entertained, but always inspired. Oh, that sounded so cliche. It sounds so cliche, but it's true. It's literally Bible. Every time I go and I see other artists doing their thing, I have some sort of reaction, whether it's, I love that idea, but they sucked at that execution, I'm going to take that idea and do better. Or, that's terrible. That's a terrible thing to say. Or if it's literally being so in awe of a peer that you can see part of yourself in, but they're at a whole other level and thinking of whole new things that just inexpressibly, what word am I trying to use? That just inevitably will cause you to create something that you're really proud of, or that really speaks to other people. I think that if you're ever in a rut, if you ever are a creative who's not creating at the moment and you want to be invigorated, step outside your real house, Go into the real world and become in awe. Give yourself opportunities to be in awe, to learn something new. It's like whenever somebody like tells you, they come up to you after they haven't seen you in a little while, and they're like, "Hey, what's new?" And you can't think of anything really. Like, I don't want to say to live your life for other people, but live your life in a way that maybe you have something new to tell people when you see them again. Just one little thing. And that's what I mean to say, like, I've been trying to say yes. I've been trying to see opportunity when in places I might not have before. And that opportunity is just like finding out what else is in your local culture. Something always impresses me and also disappoints me or inspires me. There was a movie called Flutter. It was called Flutter. And it was about these either bionic or cursed butterflies. They would land on your hand and they could bite you and start drinking your blood. And I'm not talking about like a cartoon. Like, these were highly rendered CG butterflies that were gorgeous, that were pretty realistic. And there was a grandpa and a grandson who was walking through the field, and they come upon these butterflies. I can't tell you that that kid was going to win an Oscar anytime soon, but it was fine. It set up the premise. And you see these CGI butterflies. I talked to the filmmaker. He said it took him like 3 or 4 years to get it right, to get the butterflies right. And these ice blue butterflies would turn red as they would drink blood in a very highly, high quality rendering. Very creative. It was beautiful and scary and weird, and I'm inspired again. So get yourselves out there. Even when it's like I'm going to bring these fake food to a cafe in the near future and just sit and cut in public. Cut these. Should be specific. And just listen to music and just kind of soak in my local culture. Even without a car. I gotta get that skateboard, you guys. I cannot wait for the skateboard. I'd obviously, I was thinking about what I'd paint on it, and it would obviously be one of my monsters. I just don't know what it would look like yet. Tiffany says, I sell on Etsy as my main source of income. So during the day, I might craft. That's your main source of income. Bravo, because that is very difficult. And that's a dream for a lot of people. So amazing work. An Etsy sale or a great review. Yes, I also do like the cha-ching. I like to hear the cha-ching as well. Valerie is trying to reach out to people to see what they're up to. Me too. Well, I thought I'd post a video that was inviting myself to anyone's barbecue, on my Instagram stories. I might do that. Not really into going to the big firework watching spot. No. That sounds like a hazard. That sounds like a much more trouble than it's worth, in my opinion. I myself am going to be sitting on my balcony again, trying to see fireworks that may or may not be in the distance. But if I can make it to a barbecue, that sounds cute. Maybe I'll make a friend, guys. Maybe I'll make a friend. Once I post that video, I think I went on too much of a train of thought there. Have to cut out those little donut holes or punch them out. I was talking to my sister this week, and we were talking about the journey that these donuts have taken from the original felt version, where I was literally sewing crafts felt into donuts. It's painstaking, and it didn't look as good as these guys. It's interesting because here are some of my kitchen sink thoughts. I was also thinking about how, the things that I continued in my life, the things that I do to this day that I have been doing for a long time now, that I, they bore fruit, and that's why I kind of kept on going with it. Like, if these original donut crowns that I made, they didn't sell, I would have never gone to this extent to create these hyper realistic, custom made fake foods. I wouldn't even know it was in the cards for me. I think about this way too often. I try to contextualize my life as if I were explaining this world and the way things work to somebody from the 50s, kind of like Back to the Future. Well, I guess in the opposite direction. But, explain, well, wait a minute. Did he go into the future? I don't know. I don't remember how that series works. Anyways, if somebody from the 50s came to this world, because I'm saying even that many years ago, it's just there's so much that has changed. And how do I narrate that world event and how the majority of people feel about it? It's a good question. Oh, since my monitor was out, I haven't been able to look at the time. It's 8:14. My brain always tells me that I'm we're coming near the 2-hour mark now. We're getting sleepier. We're running out of topics. We've gone 6 hours before on this channel, guys. That's not happening tonight, but we have done that before. Those molds don't mold themselves. I think the next food that I want to make, if I could pick, I have been wanting to mold French fries for a long time now. But the thing is, now I know one thing that I am very aware of is that when you're mold making, and I didn't know how far this was going to go. I didn't know how in production I would end up eventually going. My Halloween season, I'm practically starting it right now. This is the work that's leading up to the Halloween drop, which honestly starts in mid-August, to be quite honest with you, as far as sales and eyes go. So I'm gonna be prepared. Gonna be prepared this time. I'm doing some traveling. So I need to make sure that the store is nice and ready for whatever Halloweeners are gonna throw at it. Let's do one more thing, and then we'll all tucker in. There's a lot of duplicates of things we've already done here, which is, I guess, is what I was trying to do, just kind of stock up. Let's see some mini donuts, huh? Pretty cute. William says the long shows are fun. Lots of coffee. Absolutely lots of coffee. How else are we going to do it? I'm glad when you guys are there for the long haul. Keep me company. I think I might have mentioned this before, but obviously if you see these curved scissors and you don't know what they might be for, like how I might have found them, that might be a question you have. But I think that I must have discovered these when I was watching one of my favorite YouTube channels, Girl with the Dogs, where she grooms all number of pets and narrates the experience. It's amazing. And I saw her using these curved scissors, and I'm like, you know what that would be great for? My round little edges on all my round little food. Guys, there's like an entire fleet of fake food behind me right now. We'll move the camera and we'll show you what kind of mess I've made. Just throwing things behind me. So if somebody invites me to their party, to their barbecue, whatever, I was fully intending on basically making a whipped cream version, like I was explaining, the fruit parfait. I was definitely going to be creating the real version of the pie I made last week. Why not? Like just in the styling the fruit on top of like a whipped cream. Like, would that be just out of this world adorable or what? Or what? I just need a party. Oh, that'd be really sad to make it for myself. Real pie would be sick. I think so. Like, dig it. So basically you have the whipped cream as a layer in the bowl, and then I have strawberries, I have blueberries, I also have blackberries. Maybe that can be like, oh wait, blueberries would be the flag. There's really no room for blackberries unless I wanted to put them there, but oh my god, it would be so cute. Oh, I don't even know if that was in frame. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not paying attention. Lost in my thoughts. Sometimes I kind of have to create another little layer, little roll on the roll. Just so that it kind of blends into the bottom, gradual. The more specific I get with this fake food, the better it does become. Well, guys, we got a lot done. Oh, let's see our damage. That is a nice little pile right there. That is stuff that is completely ready to be painted. It's on to the next step. Thank you so much for keeping me company, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful Independence Day of America, whatever country that you live in. Thank you, as always, for just being here to help me pass the time as a human being and contributing and hopefully cycling the positivity that I'm always trying to spread one way or another. So I really appreciate you guys, and I want you to have the best holiday. Peace, love, rock and roll.